All right, good morning everybody. Today we are going to be putting in a water well. We're going to be using this rig right here. We're going to be putting in a limestone rock water well, and it's about 15-20 minutes from the shop, so not too far of a drive, but it should be end up about 150 feet, maybe 126 feet of steel casing. So not incredibly deep, but it should be pretty good well. We're hoping to get it done in one day, and this is the machine we're going to be using. This is a Versadrill V100. It's one of two that we have, and the other one actually broke yesterday, so we're going to be using this one today. We got a mechanic coming tomorrow or later today to take a look at the other one, but so this is the second one, and what we're basically going to be doing is driving steel casing into the ground and then drilling a pilot hole with air and water, compressed air and water inside that steel casing and down ahead of it, and then continually pushing that, basically softening up the ground so we can push that steel casing in a little bit further as we go. So not much to it. I mean, there's a lot to it, but in theory there's really not much to it. So hopefully everything goes well, and we'll get you some video today of a installation of water well, and also I will explain it as we go so it makes sense, because otherwise just be looking at pipes going in and out of the ground. So here we go. This one was already kind of topped off, so the fuel wasn't too bad, only 86 bucks. you get the camera facing out. All right, so what we got going on here is we have driven the first piece of pipe in, and this is the second piece of pipe going down. And basically what we're doing is we're driving these pipes into the ground, and then we're going to drill inside of them to open up the hole and basically continue the well. As you can see, there's a trailer full of pipes over there. He was just putting a coupler on, and you can see the pipes slowly going down in this time lapse. Sometimes they go pretty quick, sometimes it takes a while. This particular day, it's taken a little while. This ground is really hard, and we ran into hard limestone at like 35 feet, and we have to get our casing all the way down to 130 feet. So we got almost 100 foot of hard limestone to push this casing through, and it is As you'll see in the rest of the video, it's not easy, and we had to we had to kind of go back to the drawing board and bounce around in order to get this done. But what the guys are doing right now is they're basically, waiting on this limestone to get penetrated, and once that casing gets down, then we'll be able to move on to the next stage of the well drilling process, which is going to be actually drilling. So right now we're pushing casing, and in just a minute we're going to start drilling. Alright, so now we are drilling. This is the second piece of pipe going down, and they are 20-foot sections of pipe, so this will be 40 feet. And as you can see as it zooms in here, the actual cuttings coming out of the ground, they're already limestone. You can see they change right there to a white color, and that's actual rock coming out of the ground. So we went from a sandy brown mixture to this limestone, which we were not expecting to hit until about 70 feet, so it's something we got to get through. All right, and here's where we encounter our first problem. The cuttings, as you can see on the bottom there, they stop coming out at about 55, 60 feet. Right there, see there's nothing coming out now at the bottom of underneath the rig. So basically what we're doing right now is we're filling a cavity up underground, sinkhole, hole in the ground, whatever you want to call it, but basically it's getting filled up with our drill cuttings, and instead of them coming out and us seeing what we're working with, we're actually filling that up. So this is what they call drilling blind, and it is not ideal. This is not what you want to have happen. So basically what we're going to have to do after this, and we're going to, instead of drilling the hole out like we wanted to, we're going to have to cut it short and bounce back and forth between drilling and hitting casing in the ground, drilling and hitting casing in the ground. So that's what we're going to do next. So we're going to cut the drilling short here. We're going to break it out, the drill rods, and then we're going to go back to pushing casing in the ground. All right, so we are back to driving casing. This is the 40-ish foot of casing. That right there is going to be 45, and then that little piece right there that's going to go on after that is going to be 47. So that will take us to 47 feet, and then we are going to add another 21-foot stick after that, which will take us to 60. All right, so this is 68 foot of casing going in the ground. It is not going in fast. This is going in painfully slow. This is really hard limestone at this point, and we are putting this piece of pipe in so that we can drill after this and get our cuttings to start coming back to the surface. If you remember a little earlier back, our cuttings quit coming to the surface, so what we're having to do is actually push this pipe past that zone, that hole in the ground or that sinkhole area where those cuttings were entering and not coming out the top of the well. And so this piece of pipe is going to seal that off, and that is going to allow us to finally get our cuttings back at the top of the well, so we can actually see what we're drilling in instead of just it being a big guessing game. And good news, it worked. As you can see, we're drilling again now. We're going down to 160 feet, and you can see the actual cuttings coming out the bottom again. So we were successful. We were able to get those circulation. I guess you could call it circulation. It's not really circulation, but you can actually see the cuttings coming out again. And so we're no longer drilling blind. We know what material we're in, and now we are drilling the hole to depth to 160 feet so that we can finish putting the rest of the casing in. And like I said, on this particular well, we're going to end up casing it to 130 feet. So we have another 3 sticks that we need, 3 pieces of pipe of casing that we need to add, and those are 21 foot each. So that's another 63 feet of pipe that we're going to put in the ground, which is going to take us to 131 feet. So here the guys are, now we're starting to break our rods out. So we've drilled to 160 feet, and now we're breaking the rods and taking the bit out and putting the rods back in the carousel. And the next thing we're going to do is start pounding more casing. All right, here goes the hammer, and we're going to start driving that casing again. This is going to be the fourth piece of pipe, so this will take us to 89 feet. The one after that is going to take us to 110 feet, and then the following one will take us to 131 feet. So I will let you guys watch this time lapse of basically these pipes going into the ground. All right, so we got the last piece of casing going in. This is 131 feet. As you can see, it speeds up, it slows down, it speeds up, it slows down. It all just depends on how hard that rock is. But this last piece is going to go in, and then we are going to drill it out and then develop for water. So we are nearing the end of this well. All right, so we are now down to 160 feet. And what they're doing right now is they're reaming the hole and just kind of clearing it out to see what kind of water we have. You can see the water coming out the bottom there, and it's just not quite enough for what we're looking for. So we're going to go ahead and go one more piece of pipe, and that's going to be 180 foot, which was the total depth for this well. As you can see, had some issues drilling down this last little bit here. A couple little explosions of water, as you can see. The driller got a little bit dirty, so but slowly but surely we worked through this last section of rod, and as you'll see here in just a minute, once we start developing and cleaning the hole, we have plenty of water. So there we are down to depth. There he is cleaning, reaming the hole, basically just kind of getting all the drill cuttings and all the debris that we stirred up from drilling out of it. All right, there you have it. We have developed the well. We have plenty of water. I would guess probably in around the neighborhood of 80 gallons per minute. And we're going to be setting a pump that's only 20 to 25 gallons per minute, so we'll have plenty of water. As you can see here, the guys are breaking the rods out. So basically we're taking all the drill rods and the bit out of the hole. We'll return the next day and get this one finished up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give us a like and subscribe, and let us know what you think about water well drilling here in the state of Florida.